reduces vibrations so you can create more. And it's backed by an industry-leading 5-year warranty. WD Black Performance Storage. Higher capacities, more performance, more possibilities.
It's time for the finals and determine who is going to be the first player between Darkwonyx and Sjow to go to the LAN finals. Remember, it's not just a pride on the line here. It's guaranteed, I believe, at least $1,000 here. Because if you get an all expenses paid trip here, I might be corrected on how much money, by the way, but as long as you're able to get to California, you're guaranteed a certain prize pool. You get a paid trip here in February, and you get to hang out with me and TJ as well as all the other cool stuff. The LAN finals is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some cool special events. It's going to be a great time. We have 8 players, 4 who qualify over weeks 5 through 8, and then 4 players who qualify through seeding points. So we have 3 more weeks of this, at least by the way the current format is. Yeah. And Darkwonyx versus Sjow. I think this is very appropriate for 2 players of this caliber to make it all the way here.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I'll be really excited regardless of which of these players makes it through to the LAN finals. I think both of these players are very deserving of that spot. And of course, all the semifinalists, Soleil, Darkwonyx, Sjow, and Magic Gamey, will be invited back next week, except for the one that wins this one. Or not next week, in 2 weeks from now, since we are taking a break for the holidays. So they will have another chance to make it through and to get some points.
Taking 26th and 27th off, no need to stick with us for 12 hours post-Christmas. We don't want to do that. And we're going to have our lineup here for Darkwonyx versus Sjow. Warlock versus Warlock. Now keep in mind, this is Show's Handlock versus Darkwonyx Control Demon Lock. Then we have a cool Paladin with Bolvar versus Druid. And then we have Warrior versus Warrior. Fun times are abound at ESL Legendary Series.
Well, Darkwonyx's decks are really unique and interesting, especially this Warlock deck. Even his Paladin deck has some things thrown in there that are a little bit crazy, like the Scarlet Purifier. It's been a long time since we've seen that card. It came out in one of the first series of the day, and it could have some uses. We'll have to see, but this is not a mirror matchup. It's a mirror matchup as far as classes go, but as far as decks, these decks are way different.
Yeah, pretty different in terms of how they scale according to, well, if you haven't seen it yet, we'll just say wait and see. If you have seen it, of course, you guys know exactly what we're talking about. That's pretty much it. We do want to take a quick second to remind you guys about the opportunity to also play in the future. Every single Sunday, there is a Challenger Cup to go for the Open Finals, which seeds directly into this event. Magic Gamey and Zale were actually 2 players who came from the Open bracket. They got all the way to the semis. Super close to qualifying.
Yeah.
They do get some points and an invite back, but you know, the opportunity for you guys to do is the same exact thing. If you go to the link at the bottom, sign up for the Open. It's free to enter. All you need is a North American account, apparently full of golden cards too. That's optional, but the more golden cards, the better, because we won't judge you.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really fun tournament to play in. You can get some tournament experience under your belt. Also have a chance to win some cash as well, because not only do you get invited to the Challenger Finals the following week, but you also get a little bit of money. It's a $500 prize pool split among the top 4 players every single Sunday.
Absolutely. So if you're entering, good luck. Let us know at Azumo. In the meantime, we're getting ready for this awesome game between Darkwonyx versus Sjow. Let's kick it off with a Warlock mirror matchup. Both these guys have to be starting to get tired here. The day is actually lasting almost absurd lengths. As Darkwonyx, I promised him, I was like, dude, it's gonna end at it's gonna start at like 10 p.m. and end at like 5 a.m. for you. And he's like, okay, cool. It's like my normal gaming time. But like now it's starting to break.
The sun has risen.
The sun has risen in Sweden.
Their skin is burning.
Guys, close the drapes. Have you heard what it does to us gamers having exposure to UV rays?
It'll burn you alive. And that, for those of you who are just joining us, who haven't seen Darkwonyx deck play, during the Mulligan phase, yes, that was a Twisting Nether. And yes, he has won a lot of games.
Yes, he's actually, I think his overall record with this deck is 4-1.
Which
he's
is
played
very
2
impressive.
series, and I love this deck.
I love it as well.
It's just so much fun. How can you hate this deck? It's one of those things where, like, if you lose to it, you're like, Okay, you got me.
Nice. And he beat Delay in the semifinals with it, and you could tell that was a close matchup, went to 5 games. And at the end, Delay looked a little bit disappointed, but he knew. He knew.
Yeah.
He said, well, you earned this, Darkwonyx. You deserve this. Take the torch.
It's like it was the game number 5 using his own deck, and it was the 30th card, bottom deck. Literal bottom deck to win the game.
Well, take stock of what we have here.
We have a giant and a drake waiting in the hands of Sjow. The timing of it is a little awkward, just considering that he doesn't have a turn 3 play here because if he coins out the drake, he gimps his chance to play the giant. And if your opponent takes the time to play giant on turn 5, then you can Siphon Soul it. So.
Yep. If you don't have any other play, you have to. This ruins the opportunity for that Mountain Giant next turn, but that's just the situation that you fall in if you are on the coin and you don't find a drop to play on turn 1, 2, or 3. Implosion!
Is that your best answer, just solely based off of the pressure it creates with minions?
It plays into... Well, I guess it doesn't really play into Hellfire that much.
It doesn't if you like do a reasonable damage and trade into it.
Yeah.
Even if it rolls low, it actually gives you a pretty good chance against Hellfire.
Yeah. You don't need to protect those imps that much. And
you have to also have your own Hellfire.
That's true. He's thinking of how he wants... Well, can he afford to tap here?
Well, if he taps, then this Farseer is as good as stranded. And he still has to find a way to make up that 5 damage difference between the Drake's health and his attack.
Yeah, I think Implosion's the way to go.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Implosion. If it rolls low, it's still okay. If it rolls high, that's great.
It's fantastic.
Oh, okay, middle of the road.
I think every single one of his Implosions today have been 3 damage.
Nope, he got a 5 Implosion damage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He played Blood Mage Thanatos and then Implosion on like onto like Sludge Belcher or something like that.
That's
and then,
fantastic.
Like, it hit for 5. It was hilarious.
That's... To think about that is just such a creative and
wow,
interesting deck.
Oh man,
there's so many things that just... Oh, go for another Implosion.
There's an opportunity to play Demon Heart here and push.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a second Implosion here would be really overextending into AoE.
You can just simply trade into. Take it slow. Mistress of Pain with Demon Heart. Demon Heart's much stronger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You get a 5/9.
For
or
sure.
6/9. 6/9.
A 6/9 that also just heals you.
It doesn't even die to a giant.
For ridiculous amounts.
Whoa, you're actually that is pretty wild.
This probably is just Siphon Soul though.
You don't have to though. Oh yes you do, because you can't Demon Heart and then Dark Bomb. Yeah, I guess you do Siphon that then. And push for 2 damage.
Also heal for 1. Heal for another 1. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, the heal actually might be nice too to consider in the next couple turns. Yeah, if he had the mana to Demon Heart and Dark Bomb, then that Mistress of Pain actually gets really nice value.
Not many of the plays with this deck from Darkwonyx are straightforward.
It does require a lot more meticulous planning, it looks like. I know a lot of his friends are cheering him on too because they're just, one, they're happy for their friends, but 2, it's because, he's doing it with his own deck. And it's been a while since Darkwonyx had a breakout performance like this.
And what a way to do it also.
Yeah, for sure. I have to imagine another big threat here is coming out. Twilight Drake.
Alright, well let's see what he's got as far as plays go here.
Implosion. That card is so troll.
Hit him with the Implosion. Demon Heart might be in.
Well, it's very mediocre now. It doesn't really do much. It opens you up to removal.
Not many of his plays in this situation do that much, though.
Does Demon Heart deal 5 damage to a minion, or 5 damage period? Is it like deal 5 damage or give +5/+5?
I think it's exactly the same wording as Demon Hearts.
Demon
just
Fire?
with 5s, or Demon Fire, yeah.
Ah, okay. I wasn't sure if you can use it as a
Yeah.
nuke, like just like straight up Demon Heart to the face.
Old Starfall.
Oh, he's keeping up the possibility of Hellfire. Hellfire and Fell Cannon next turn? I see your play, Darkwonyx.
Wow, there's so many plays that he's made over the past couple series where he just thinks 2 steps ahead, which you sort of have to do with this deck, I guess. This Mountain Giant sort of throws a wrench in his plan, though.
Yeah, for sure. He was hoping he didn't have it because he played the Drake instead of. But
I mean, I guess Hellfire Fell Cannon serves the same purpose here.
Right.
It still challenges the Mountain Giant in the end.
Oh, and there's no easy way to deal with that either. That is quite humorous, if you ask me.
He's thinking about whether or not he wants to Implosion as well. But I kind of like Fell Cannon. Because then even if he finds a way to deal with the Fell Cannon next turn, he can just Implosion.
Fell Cannon works best with 1 target on the board, too.
You're not going to really find... It's going to be harder to find a use for that later on, whereas Implosion is a lot more flexible.
And there's no easy way to deal with it other than straight up killing it. So, a moment of inconvenience for Sjow. It's one of those things where he's like, God, how do I... What's the best way to
this
deal
whole
with this?
game is a moment of inconvenience for Sjow. Playing against this deck is inconvenient.
Loving it. Loving every second of it. So then Sjow, he can load up defensively. Oh man, he also can play a giant, start pressing. I think that might be his best case here.
He's got to know that.
Oh my God.
He's got to know that this deck doesn't play Molten Giants though.
Darkwonyx does a board clear. He's got Hellfire, Dark Bomb. He's got a board clear with Fell Cannon. Against Giants.
How do you deal with this?
I mean, he did have a faceless, but that's primarily for his combo finisher.
Yeah. And there's a piece of the combo.
Speaking of which.
And he's actually got quite a bit of damage coming out next turn as well. He has the possibility to do quite a bit of damage next turn.
He's got 8... 11. Yeah, he's got 11 damage next turn. Sjow still can't deal with this Fell Cannon without just straight up killing it with like Siphon Soul.
It seems the best way to deal with this deck from Darkwonyx is to try and just push through early.
Right.
Because it's got a lot of healing, but like it doesn't have Molten Giants. It doesn't have a way to punish you for going super aggressive.
Great draw. Sludge Belcher. Might even follow with Implosion. Oh, Alexstrasza also and Voidwalker is great too. That's something I didn't think about, like how Voidwalker fits into this deck, because it felt very awkward.
It did.
Voidwalker, like, it fills in so many of these small mana slots, which can really help you stall for time. In case you just need more, like, because Fell Cannon's going to shoot again. And it just keeps doing damage.
Do you want it to shoot again, though? Because it can also hit your own minions.
Oh, you're right.
So sometimes it can be a little bit of a liability, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It can hit your own minions.
I think you want to trade it in. Because if you play your own Sludge Belcher and hold on to the Fell Cannon, and the Fell Cannon hits your own Sludge Belcher, that's pretty disastrous. Whoa, Twisting Nether.
No, that can't be the...
Oh, no, I'm just so happy to see Twisting Nether. We haven't even seen it yet. He hasn't even used it in any of the games that we've seen.
Whoa, 4 damage. Barcio heal and a Voidwalker, so... He wanted to take as much damage off the board as possible. Voidwalker seems a little luxurious, actually.
It plays
like
Shadow Flame.
Yeah, he's gonna Shadow Flame this anyways. Ah, nice pickup here from Sjow, so that way he can take out one of these 1/1s. Definitely feels like he should Shadow Flame this. Yep. Take a commanding lead on the board. He needs to protect this 1/2 as best as he can.
Is he afraid that he's going to die if he Alexstrasses this turn? He's starting to get to dangerous levels of health here. He doesn't have any healing left in his hand.
Yeah,
and again,
I know
like,
you also know that he has Siphon Souls and Big Game Hunters too.
This could be a rough spot.
This is also another reason why I was like curious as to why didn't he Cape Voidwalker, because it fits with the Mana Curse so well with Alexstrasza. Another pretty good pickup here from Sjow, as he does need some way to defend against any kind of combo coming up. I think he's aware of what this deck can do, right?
Oh yeah, he has to be at this point.
This slime is actually so annoying. I laugh every time I see this card because it shouldn't be working. Baron Geddon's much better because you can kill off both of these at the same time, but just Fell Cannon's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Because it's like a card that you saw, you're like, meh, it's not that great.
Well, even Baron Geddon in this deck is like, you called it earlier, you said. Sometimes Darkwonyx just puts Baron Geddon into random decks.
Yeah.
And this would definitely fall into that category.
Oh boy. I think we might see it.
The Twisting Nether.
I think it's time for the Twisting Nether.
What? He doesn't have any other plays. He's got Lethal Showing on board.
Yep.
Fell Cannon's
He's got
not going to do anything.
16 damage at the moment with the combo.
So many possibilities.
Tap into Twisting Nether. Boys.
Oh! Whoa! And it's all gone.
Dude. My eyes just dilated. Like, full on.
That was incredible.
My God, that was wild.
It's not even like the minions are destroyed. It's just like they get sucked in and then disappear.
Oh, that was awesome. I think Darkwonyx might be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, if that was power overwhelming though. That would have been game.
Which is crazy that this deck can just pull wins out of nothing like that.
Does he have to play Alexstrasza? I guess he's gonna Mortal Coil. Alexstrasza himself back up to 15. Ah, well, I guess he took one of the worst ones and he had to choose the RNG scale. 7, 8, 7, 10. Nope. There's no way to roll high and kill him off right now.
Well, you could.
Well, we're still on a draw to win the game.
You could technically kill him in that situation.
Power overwhelming is lethal.
You could have faceless the bomb and then hellfired.
Oh gosh, he's actually still alive.
Anti-Keelbot Sledge Belcher.
Right. T-Keelbot Sledge Belcher. It just stalls perfectly long enough, I think.
At that point, though, Sjow is actually pretty healthy.
Wait, does it though? Hellfire plus... Yeah. Hellfire plus...
He can't really afford to use Hellfire, though.
12.
If he knows what's in the deck, then if he puts himself at 24
Oh, yeah,
health,
he was at 27. My apologies. He wasn't on lethal to win then. See?
well, he was, but because he Siphon Soul last turn.
Right, right. So you attack, if you Hellfire, that's 3 damage, he's at 12. You do 4 damage to face, that's 8. No, you can't get past.
So that makes this a tough turn.
Oh wait, what if you, here's an interesting thing. What if you face this Manipulator, the one Boombot?
Yeah, that's what I said last turn. If he faces manipulated the Boombot and Hellfired, he actually had a chance to kill him last turn. Both Boombots would have just had to roll medium for him to be able to do it. He needed 5 damage from 2 Boombots.
You can do this instead. It's much more reasonable.
If you think about it, expecting 5 damage from 2 bots isn't most things, but it's sort of an all-in play, which
Right.
he didn't need to make that an all-in play at all in that situation. And now he still protects himself from the combo.
He needs a way to get past. Oh. Siphon
It's always
Soul.
like, okay, well, Darkwonyx needs to find a way to stay alive, and he draws into it, and
Yeah.
he stays alive.
Is his best chance to Siphon Soul the 3-5 and Fell Cannon and try to snipe the 1-2?
Probably.
It might be.
So
Otherwise, he just doesn't have any win conditions left.
But he's like, his opponent still is at 25 health. Which is very funny because he can't play Jiraxis. He knows he's just going to die if he Jiraxis. That might be Darkwonyx's best shot to try and Hail Mary.
We've seen him in this position before with this deck.
He's going to play it safe.
Okay.
Hey, Fell Cannon still challenges the Sludge Belcher.
Yes, it does. And plus some.
Well, it's like I want to not tap, but I think I oh my god, I didn't realize he was almost out of cards. That's also a really big deal because
Whoa.
he's going to be out of cards now.
With the Mortal Coil.
Right.
Well, Sludge Belches are a fantastic card to be the last card in his deck.
What a close game.
He
I feel like Sjow still has this.
2 cards left
he's
for
got 2 cards
Darkwonyx.
left.
And one of those is a Power Overwhelming. What is the other card?
Realistically, Darkwonyx might have to face this manipulator defensively.
Once he sees the second Sludge Belcher.
Right.
Mortal Coil and Blood Mage Stalnos are just not going to do much. Just going to get him closer to fatigue.
Yeah, Sjow definitely is really in tune with how to beat this deck now. Looks like the magic has finally worn off.
He's discovered the
The
secret.
the carriage has turned into a pumpkin. It was definitely brilliant while it worked, though. It got him to the finals,
It did.
but I'm pretty sure Show's got this game.
He still has a chance to bring it out in the blind pick stage if it gets to that, but even then.
Well, the challenging thing is how do you get past both Sludge Belchers? You have to rely on fatigue alone to kill him. Even if you didn't.
Can ease your pain.
You'd fatigue yourself out as well.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the Zombie Chow might be able to be helpful, though. Oh, wait, one of them might be Shadow Flame.
One of the cards left in his deck? Does he even play Shadow Flames?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Well, this is smart. Right. Putting the Sludge Belcher in range to be killed by either of his creatures and also making sure that he doesn't have to use the Mortal Core for card draw because he doesn't want to get further into his deck.
So the other Sludge Belcher is coming in here, right?
You can't do anything else.
I mean, in the end, Darkwonyx can still just use Power Overwhelming like #1 to spread out his damage, right? He doesn't have to go full on. I still wonder if he has a chance here. Because the Zombie Chow does heal up a pretty considerable amount. But Jiraxis does have like the final attack, because the 3, you gain the life and the 3 attack. It's going to be really close, I think.
It depends what these last 2 cards are for Darkwonyx.
But I still like Faceless. Still like Sludge Belcher defensively. Faceless Manipulator on your opponent's Sludge Belcher defensively. This is actually really important too, because Mistress of Pain gains some health.
There's the second Power
So
Overwhelming.
I think you use his Sludge Belcher defensively.
Faceless the Sludge Belcher and Power Overwhelming the...
Right. It was actually really important that Sjow killed off his Mistress of Pain, because he would have gained health with the power.
That'd actually be a lot of health gain.
He's also going to be on a draw too, because Thalanos draws a card.
He's really trying to think this one through, to try and plan ahead for the turns to come. He's got to know the last card in his deck.
I mean, he's gonna use it to. Does he want to kill off the body of the Sludge Belcher? He does. Those slimes are so problematic, actually, at the moment.
Is he thinking about just throwing double Arcane Golem out there right now?
I wonder.
No, he has to know his opponent has AoE. Oh, it's an antique heal bot. I'm a little speechless here. I think now there really is no way for him to win, right?
Can he faceless the Molten Giant?
Doesn't have taunt.
Does it matter at that point?
Pretty sure he's just gonna kill you with Hellfire next turn. If you don't antique heal bot.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, if he facelesses the Molten Giant,
Wow,
and then
Sludge
anti-heal
Belcher's
bot,
Sludge Belcher's really coming through in the thick here.
yeah. Then he can clear off the sledges, the slimes next turn, and kill the Molten Giant next turn with his own, but he'd be at such a low health count at that point that Jiraxis would probably just kill him, especially with the extra fatigue damage.
Yeah, I still think in the end the Sludge Belchers were the difference maker here. Really close game though. Oh my god. 8, 12, 15. Hellfire. Oh, wait. Of course, you heal him with Zombie Chow. You can't kill him with Hellfire. Sjow has to be also like wondering what cards his opponent has, but I don't think there's a way around it. Sjow's only gonna take 4 damage of fatigue next turn. Quote only.
I think he has to Jiraxis here to kill off the anti-kill bot. So that way he knows that Arcane Golem and Power Overwhelming are the last cards. He has to know. So he wants to protect the Zombie Chow.
Yeah.
Because
Zombie Chow can't give life.
Because either way, even with just Molten Giants and Slimes, as long as he protects the Zombie Chow and doesn't allow him to gain life with that, then he's going to win.
Very well played.
Very
this is
well
the power
played.
of knowing the deck list versus not. And Darkwonyx just falling a little bit short, not having anything to deal with these 1-2 slimes.
Wait. Oh, never mind. I was going to say he can power. Fatigue wouldn't matter. He can power overwhelming the Zombie Chow.
Wow, super close game.
Very
and,
close.
And that gives Sjow the edge here. And Darkwonyx's Warlock deck will be slotted away for now. We're going to go straight into, I believe, Druid versus Paladin, which is a different matchup altogether. And Sjow's up on a 1-0 lead, 2 games away from getting a trip to California.
Indeed, and his Druid deck is a little bit interesting. It's the mech Druid, the faster mech Druid. So runs a lot of those low-cost mechs with a lot of sticky creatures and, of course, double combo as well to top it off. And Darkwonyx, it's a very control-heavy Paladin.
Yeah, it's got interesting elements to it, too. The one that sticks out to me is the Scarlet Purifier. Not really sure how it works. I guess it kills the Clockwork Gnomes.
That's true.
Trying to think. Oh, I guess it deals damage to the Pilot Shredders too, and Harvest Golems. So actually, there's a pretty decent amount of mechs that have Death Rattle that you can use a Scarlet Purifier on.
It trades up with a Mechanical Yeti.
Yeah, and you also use that plus like Consecration.
Oh yeah.
Right. Or like that plus something else. It's an interesting card. I don't know if it's. Excuse me. I don't know if it's a card that has a lot of application in this matchup as like the swing card, but it's just interesting that he has it, and something that's different from most other Paladins. Again, Darkwonyx is a very unique deck builder.
It could make for some really interesting turns, and it could add a little extra dynamic to some of these plays, especially against a deck like the Mech Druid, which actually runs quite a few Death Rattles.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much gonna just wait and see how it lines up. I'm generally speaking still thinking that Paladin is good against the Druid.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think a Druid has, especially against the more control-heavy Paladin, has the chance to just completely blow out a game, similar to what they can do to control Warrior. Just Paladin has a few extra tools to be able to deal with it. Like they have
For sure.
more ways to like life gain, while at the same time more ways to just clear off a really big board.
So, well, I think that's going to bring us into a really nice spot because even if Paladin takes this, then we'll be in 1-1. We'll go into the blind pick stage. Maybe we can see the Warlock deck again. Maybe we won't. I think now that like you've pretty much seen this deck throughout, you like 30 cards through, you have a good idea of like how to play against it. So that might make Darkwonyx play it less because it's like, well, it's run its course. It already won 4 games for me out of the necessary 6 to get to this spot.
Exactly.
I think I can just like shelve it for now and rely on like other classes here.
Yep. Well, his other decks have had some success as well, and we'll have to see if that Paladin will have the success. And there's the Scarlet Purifier already. We see it in his opening hand. We'll have to see if he keeps that or not.
I mean, it seems like a reasonable card to keep with how many Death Rattle effects there are, right?
And he does. 3 mana, 4/3.
I mean, it fits the vanilla test.
It does.
My greetings.
I think the idea was that you would synergize it with like your own Harvest Gold. Oh, sorry, your own Nerubian Egg. So like you play Nerubian Egg on turn 2 and then Scarlet Purifier.
Yeah. That's a big swing. Big swing. That's a very aggressive opening.
Wow, and well, Darkwonyx is like, cool, I've got the answer for it. And Sjow, of course, was playing around the Shield mini-bot, so, you know, good for him. Wow, what an aggressive opening. 4 cards. And the True Silver Champion will shut most of this down.
Is there any merit to just hero powering there?
To try and force him to hero power.
Hero power.
I think Shield mini-bot's a lot stronger.
Okay.
It'll go even for this card, which is what you want. He already invested a lot. He invested an Innervate into this, so this better be doing a lot of damage. Ooh. Now you can make a legitimate case to holding onto Scarlet Purifier and
Zombie Sjow hero power.
because otherwise it just becomes like a like a bad Keeper of the Grove. Like you just use 2 damage on a minion. Yeah.
A bad fail cannon.
Reporting for duty.
Stormpike Commando. It's probably the most appropriate.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like SI7 agent.
Stats are pretty similar even. Wait a
Actually,
second.
SI7 agent.
Okay.
Scarlet Purifier might be legitimate here too.
I think it would be.
Now, Zombie Sjow does die though. But I guess you would trade it into the 4/3.
It's not filling up your mana that well though.
Yeah, I think True Silver Champions actually is pretty decent too.
Yeah, you have a good way to deal with whatever comes.
Oh, Bolvar is in hand. Bolvar is gonna go ham this game. Serious mileage out of this card. He's gonna at least kill 2 cards.
Do you want it early or do you want it late?
Bolvar?
Yeah. Do you want it in your hand as quick as you can, like now? Or do you want it late, like we saw?
Oh, actually, you
Series
can do
earlier.
it next turn.
Bolvar next turn?
Yeah, because it's gonna be at least a 4/7. What is this animation? I have no understanding of what just happened. But all right.
Sjow he's smiling a little
He's
bit.
like, what?
Well played, thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to get an easy trade. Well, I guess now that it's only going to be a 3/7, because I thought this was going to die, he can definitely hold off on it. Oh, Bolvar can get so much buffs off the Muster for
Muster
battle.
for battle.
Oh boy.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty big.
I mean, Scarlet Purifier has actually done some pretty serious work.
How's Sjow gonna be able to deal with the Bolvar too? I guess a Keeper of the Grove would be best case scenario, but other than that, it'd be really tough. 7 health creatures can be really annoying.
That Rusty Horn is pretty clutch. He's gonna Rusty Horn the 2-1? Or is he just gonna hold off on it? Because then True Silver. Oh, well, I mean, I think that was the one he wanted anyways, because he's gonna True Silver that thing down. Can't play it fast enough.
Yeah. Either way, it's.
Oh wait, he's got attack plus Bolvar, right? The Whirling Blade plus Bolvar.
Whoa.
It's a oh, it's gonna be a 6/7.
6/7, yeah.
Pretty tempting. Pretty tempting, but I think this is much better.
He wants a bigger Bolvar.
Yep.
He's gonna keep that sucker in his hand for as long as he can.
I just want Bolvar to prove all the haters and doubters wrong. Yeti hero power, 6/7 Bolvar.
Yeah. Well, you have
What
to.
up, haters?
You have to argue Bolvar against like what else you would put in your deck against that, or what else you would put in that 5 slot.
Like a Lotheb.
Like
So
a
you put
Lotheb. So
6/7 for 5 mana is pretty nuts.
I think so. And it wasn't even that
He's
tough.
got a board clear. Look at me now, haters.
That wasn't even that tough for him to get to that point as well. Like he didn't have to like alter his play.
Right. I was like, oh my god, how do I deal with this? He has the force of nature in order to like
And hero
clear.
power.
Yeah.
Reporting for duty.
He has the force of nature and hero power to clear Bolvar. That is really funny. Alright, well, he gets Azure Drake. Yeah, that's reasonable. You can keep the hero power in check, too.
He's scratching his head.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Muster for battles and Quartermaster. Oh, but actually he has to be careful not to die, so he has to kill off this Azure Drake, because the combo. He knows that for sure. Yep.
Well, Sjow actually has
2 alms, man.
Sjow actually has an innervate as well.
Ah, you're right. So,
He'll be a mana off even if he draws the second Savage Roar.
okay. Oh, Wrath on the Bolvar is pretty good. It's almost as good as you get. Because 6,
Force of Nature and just go face.
that is a possibility here.
Whoa. And this puts him on. He has to find something.
Yeah. Darkwonyx needs any kind of heal or taunt. Oh!
That is
a heal. Let's see, hold on. 9, 11, 12, 18 damage. Who's this paladin can't burst? He has to play True Silver and attack, by the way.
This is really burst though. This is like over a few turns.
Oh, wow. I forgot about this reversing switch. That's also, like, just crazy damage. So he's at 27, and it looks like he's going to go down to the low teens here. Oh, actually, nope. Sorry.
8.
8. I was counting with before the reversing switch.
I don't know if Sjow can draw anything that's going to keep him in this one.
He's 1 damage off lethal.
Wow. Darkwonyx is holding his breath like, what could he have?
Innervate, hero power.
Sjow.
He's like, no.
Oh man.
Wow, what a really close and fun game. That was quick.
It was
Good.
quick.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, hey, guess who did some really good stuff that game? Bolvar for Dragon.
He did.
What up, haters?
He was a key piece in Darkwonyx's victory in that match.
It was, and you know what? Like, he withstood a lot more than people thought. Like, he was a Boulder Fist Ogre for 5 mana.
Wow. Deep. Next level.
He was. What if I told you Boulder Fist Ogre costed 5 mana? You'd play in every deck.
What if I told you that you could now silence Boulder Fist Ogre?
But it costs 5 mana.
But it costs 5 mana.
I might as well play Fell Reaver.
Okay, well there you go. That would be a, well, I don't know. There'd be trade-offs. But Warrior vs. Warrior next. This is the match we've been waiting for. I know you're excited about this one.
Oh yeah, Warrior vs. Warrior. Hit that armor up button, pass over to your opponent. It's gonna be great. I don't think there's not many differences between these two guys compared to like Tides of Times' Warrior, which includes Ysera. So let's jump into the game and see what these guys have and who's gonna be able to grab the edge.
It's tough. The mirror matchup is tough. You have to try and get as much value from those small creatures as you possibly can, because those small decisions that you make early in the game could end up having a pretty big impact. Like, getting multiple draws off your Acolyte can be a pretty big deal, because having the card advantage in this matchup is huge.
Yeah, it's game changing. The more resources you have at your disposal, you can line up the proper weapons and removal spells. But for now, there's really nothing to do. Coining out Armorsmith is not really that effective. Or even necessary.
Nope. I see your Armorsmith, and he will
coin out. No, I guess coining out Acolyte's too greedy.
No, yeah.
It's too greedy, but the payoff is so high.
I think your
there's
Armorsmith to test the waters for Fire War Axe.
Yeah, Fire War Axe as well as Cool Taskmaster or something like that. Yeah, it really is an Armorsmith. It's just like proper play.
Yeah.
If you coin out the Acolyte of Pain, they're gonna take advantage of like killing it off in one shot, and then their Acolyte of Pain will get more value too.
Show's getting a little revenge with the emote spam.
So, do you use your Fiery War Axe here to start getting value? I think so.
I think so.
Seems pretty strong.
What now?
He's only going to gain a little bit of armor. Like, Death's Bite will always kill some of the mid-range minions, but Fiery War Axe has a hard time collecting value in this matchup.
I think you want to get the Fire War Axe out of the way first.
I agree.
There's a chance that you might not be able to trade into the second Armorsmith next turn, like if you Fire War Axes right now. But you think he would have done that on the turn prior.
Sure.
If that was a possibility.
I guess he did collect a little bit of value off the Armorsmith, though.
Yeah.
So. And in the end, only one player is a little bit up in health. Oh, wait. Second Armorsmith.
Well, we've got the Armorsmiths out of the way.
Yeah, that's actually really important to note, which might mean all the outrageous armor counts might be reeled into only like 10 to 15 because of the shield maidens and the shield blocks.
Yeah. It doesn't make for some more explosive plays later in the game where you can hide an Armorsmith behind, like a Sledge Belcher or
What now?
yeah, that's pretty much it. Or like Whirlwind or Deathbite plays where you gain ridiculous amounts of armor with the Armorsmith. And they're taking their sweet time through these turns. Sledge Belcher seems like the obvious choice. But it's just going to get eaten by this Death's Bite, Death Rattle. Not the greatest. In the process, he's going to be throwing away his own Armorsmith. And he doesn't really have a good follow-up after that.
Yeah, I think you just gotta deal with it though. It's like it still represents too much of a threat on board.
And you can hit that armor button.
Well, that's the only thing you can do here. Everything else is very weak. Well, I guess now as Darkwonyx you can start presenting the problems.
I can take the hit.
Shield Maiden is like a significant amount of pressure.
But at the same time, it's just really tough to deal with because you don't want to utilize removal when you know that there's going to be bigger threats.
Yep.
But you can't let it live.
Well, you drew Shield Maiden yourself.
What better way to answer a Shield Maiden?
Sjow just has to let this this Barragan trade shield with Shield Maiden. Barragan really doesn't do much this matchup anyways. Oh wow, you can use Death Spite here. Just keep your Shield Maiden.
You're getting rid of some of your armor count, but if you have initiative on the board,
That's
you can just
fine.
continue to armor up every turn.
You have Shield Maiden already anyways.
Yeah. Have another one.
I wonder.
Everybody gets a Shield Maiden. And preserving the creatures on board seems like a better plan.
I think so. Seems to be a reasonable response.
Got double Acolyte in
Yeah, but
hand.
he's got next turn. But in case he wants to play Ragnaros or reevaluate, he won't have the ability to play it next turn. So if he armors up, he won't be able to Acolyte if he wants to take more initiative. Okay, it's just more of a reactive approach.
Ooh. Rag coming out. I guess either way it's pretty good. Getting rid of the armor makes it so that if he does have Shield Slam in his hand, he can't just armor up Shield Slam the Rag as an easy clear.
Well, Darkwonyx has a way to clear for sure. He's got he can kill it off with the Whirlwind effect. Not to mention he also has
What now?
Acolytes to start drawing with that. He also can go for Sylvanas to try to answer the Rag. He knows that Silence has been rotated out of decks for a while for a Control Warrior.
I think he just
I
slowed
have
down
no
the
time
Sylvanas
for
here.
games.
And he can start piling on some pressure.
Yep, I like it.
Alright, so let's see. How does he deal with this Sylvanas? He can't without risking his Rag getting stolen. He could try and put some more creatures on the board, but he can't play BGH because he would have to kill his own Rag.
What now?
Throwing Cruel Taskmaster on anything seems a little bit weird. Using the
Yeah,
axe
this is
to-
pretty stressful of a situation.
and you could tell.
Oh
wearing on him.
man.
The sun is up in full force in the land of Sweden.
It doesn't come out for very long in Sweden. It sets at like 2 p.m. 3
Yeah,
p.m.
especially at this time of year.
Yeah.
Don't get much daylight.
Is there any merit to... I guess you can't really be aggressive in the back. This feels really fun.
Seems like no matter what you do, you're losing your Rag.
Yep. Well, assuming it works out that way, I think Alex Strauza being aggressive is actually his best shot. Shoot the face. No. Steal, not Rag.
Rag, and then
Ah.
oh no.
Ah.
How much
Wait.
damage does he have?
Oh my god. Hold on. He's got 2
13,
Rags.
I think he's 1 damage off lethal.
Cruel Taskmaster 7, 11, 19. Yeah. Oh man, you can't BGH and play Rag. He's 1 mana off lethal.
Oh yeah. If it was 1 turn later, he actually still has the coin.
Oh, this is so funny. I mean, Rag has a shot of killing him.
He does.
If
I would Rag here.
let's not get too crazy. What if?
Why not?
Well, because if it hits the Alex and it hits him, you can just brawl into both Rags.
That's true.
This is like a good middle of the road play. Sjow realizes this is not his game. Just, you know, the RNGesus definitely has not been favorable to him.
It's pretty rare that a Warrior Mirror is
Yep.
this quick paced.
He has to brawl. He just didn't draw his removals like his Executes and his Shield Slams. Like, he just didn't have it.
Yeah. Well, he has Shield Stab now, but it's way too late.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's
gonna do it.
ah.
I think, right? Yep, should be. Just attack the face, you cool
Yep.
Taskmaster, and then you Ragnaros. So
All right.
game 3 is over, and we're going to go into game 4. We have liftoff.
Yes, we do. And going into the blind pick phase, and Darkwonyx is a game up.
One
Yes.
game away. Oh man, Sjow is not happy about that one. He came so far too. Both these guys have labored almost 12 hours, and Darkwonyx is one game away from guaranteeing himself a spot in California LAN Finals in February.
So now the question is, what decks do they choose? It's the blind pick phase. They can pick any deck that they've used thus far, any of those 3 decks. I'm thinking we might see the exact same matchup that we just saw.
I think I'm leaning towards a Paladin choice here from Darkwonyx.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It matches up well against everything.
It's all right. Yeah, it's pretty good against most things. And then, and if I'm Sjow and I sense a Paladin, I'd rather pick the Warlock instead of the Paladin. So
Then you could go deeper and say, well, if Darkwonyx expects Sjow to expect him.
no, I think we stop there.
Okay.
I think Paladin versus Warlock is a very reasonable choice.
And that's going to be the choice.
It's very winnable on both sides. This
is
is probably the closest to 50-50 matchup, besides Warrior versus Warrior.
Yeah. Which is innately just 50-50.
Right.
This is a classic matchup. This matchup is almost as old as competitive Hearthstone itself.
Warrior versus Handlock.
Paladin versus
versus Handlock.
Yeah, this goes back to the Fight Night days. This was actually a matchup that we saw a lot back then.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It has a lot of tension built up with until the equalities come out, and we'll see how GVG impacts it. I don't really think Scarlet Purifier makes a big deal. I don't think Bolvar actually makes that big of a difference.
No.
2 silences and removal. This is the matchup I think Sjow wanted, and I think Darkwonyx was trying to catch the Warrior.
Well, good choices then. Well, good
Iron
choice by
Beak
Sjow
Owl.
to sort of read that he thinks Darkwonyx is going to go for the Paladin, because it could have been risky to play the Warlock into
The Warrior. Yep. The
Yeah.
Warrior to the Warrior to the Paladin.
Well, I guess
I don't
this-
even know anymore, dude.
I guess this shores up pretty much, because he knows that he's confident that his Warlock can beat Darkwonyx's Warlock. He's confident in his matchup against Darkwonyx's Paladin. So he's just trying to dodge the Warrior matchup, and this gives him the best chance, I'd say.
For sure. And Darkwonyx does have weapons plus Seal of Light, so that's actually like a reasonable amount of damage to kill off whatever threat comes out by turn 4. An auto tap.
The auto tap.
If he didn't have Farseer, if he had Farseer in hand, I think I would have been okay with it, but still worth evaluating if you just play Ancient Launcher, I suppose.
Well, this is good use for Scarlet Purifier.
The only thing I feel like it has effect is Zombie Chow and Sludge Belcher, right? There's no other Death Rattles.
Well, he's going to be in for some disappointment.
Yikes. Oh boy. Silence on the Drake.
Okay, that's a nice way to deal with this early game. And we'll see what Sjow can draw into as far as threats go. Because right now he's lacking.
Yeah. He's got some reasonable minions. But, like, it'll get challenged by the True Silver Champion.
He can tap an Ancient Watcher.
He needs to go into Hellfire. Like, a way to control the board state without it getting out of control. Because this game can end very quickly if allowed to. He's got, like, some reasonable mid-range minions, too. Like, there's no reason for Darkwonyx to rush this. Do you trade it with the 1-1 or the 2-1? Alright. It's just something worth thinking about in case you have Quartermaster.
That's true. And preserving that two power on the board isn't really that big of a deal. Because you hold it anyway. And you're going to be holding it until you get to a point where you can just push for the killing blow. How hard is Karen to deal with for Handlock? I guess it's not too hard.
Not too hard, but it becomes a lot easier the later the game goes because of the mana.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can't silence it and Siphon Soul.
And if you don't have a threat on the board,
Right.
just silencing it and then just doing something suboptimal for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, that's really when you really miss cards like Lotheb, because Lotheb just goes even with Cairn. One of the very few cards that does.
Yeah, and here comes the Cairn.
Yep. I mean, I feel it's a pretty vanilla creature that you can place out. And it's like, once again, he can just hold the attack. Next turn, he'll have 6, 10, 18 damage if he just holds right here.
Well, if he throws the Iron Beak Owl, he sets up for lethal next turn with True Silver Champion and Seal of Light.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it still makes it so he's playing around
Or 16 damage, you're right. I thought I counted 18 damage. My apologies. Oh, that's
He's
game!
dead? What? That quick?
I told you.
Oh,
you
no.
underestimate the Paladin.
The Seal of Light as well. Sjow was not expecting that.
Oh, wrecked.
I don't think we've seen a game end that quick. That was turn 7.
Oh my God.
And Sjow knows
Darkwonyx
it.
is going to California.
Wow. That's crazy. And
oh man, what a heartbreak for
how
Sjow.
fitting is that though? Darkwonyx comes in here, innovates with that new Warlock deck. It got him to the finals. Didn't do too much work in that final matchup, but he brought it through with his other decks.
It got him far enough.
It got him far enough. It did its job. And we're going to be seeing Darkwonyx and hopefully some of that creative deck building here for those LAN finals in February.
Absolutely. The meta will certainly have developed a bit by then, but he is one of the final 8 players that will be here in February, and it's a good thing too, because I know he hasn't had the highest results just yet, but it's always one of those things where just like if you just stay at it, eventually you'll have some noteworthy performances. He got to the finals of WEC, qualified through a very intense 8-man player bracket.
Yeah.
Of course, he's always made splashes wherever he went, whether it was Fight Night or other tournaments. But now here he gets to the top 8, where he's guaranteed a good chunk of change for the finals here. And that was the best of 5. We're not going like best 7, trying to extend it any longer. It's just how it is. Let's take a look at the bracket to see how everything fared after today is. After you take a look at the Legendary Series, actually, that's a good point. If you want to sign up and play, go ahead and look at this link right here.
Yep.
This link right here.
ESL.gg/Legendary Series. Play in the tournament, which is tomorrow, and have some fun. Maybe have a chance to qualify next week. Find yourself in a similar spot as these guys.
You're like looking and you're like, hey, look, Sjow and Darkwonyx are great guys, cool, they're great players, but I think I can do better. Prove it. ESL.gg/Legendary Series. Or just play for fun.
Big words.
You have the holidays. It's a good time for sure.
Yes, it is.
Let's take a look at the bracket to see how today transpired. We had an upset to start things off. Zelay taking out Tides of Time. Then we had Darkwonyx versus Kibler, my favorite series of the day. Although Zelay versus Darkwonyx was also pretty
Yes,
exciting.
it was. And, of course, on the bottom side of the bracket, we saw Sjow and Magic Amy. And Magic Amy actually had a really great performance as well. She made it all the way through the open bracket, took out Life Coach, fell to Sjow, and then, of course, a fitting end to the day. Darkwonyx taking out Sjow. The 2 Swedes battling out. And Darkwonyx is going to be the king of Sweden for today. At least in Hearthstone.
Fun fact, Darkwonyx was a replacement as a sub for another player. Like, one of our invites couldn't make it, and he'll be coming in later week. Ends up going all the way. Well done. And it's always funny how some of those things work out, but he also practiced really hard for it. He's like ranked 4 or something on the region, playing his own decks. And I hope this is a good encouragement for you guys to go play your own decks, try it out, and experiment a little bit. And if also you're interested in experimenting with some other cool stuff, whether it's tech or some storage or memory units, you can check out all the products at Newegg Esports section of ESL.gg. We have some cool deals going on with Cooler Master, Western Digital, Crucial, and Newegg is behind all of that. Go check it out. Again, link at the bottom of your screen. TJ, we're done for today. Do you have any final thoughts to our 12-hour marathon broadcast?
It's been a long day, but it's been a really fun one. Probably my favorite Legendary Series day yet. Darkwonyx really bringing some new blood, infusing some new life into this GVG Legendary Series. So looking forward to seeing him in February, and we're going to take a break for the holidays. So.
That's right. Next week for Christmas, we're not broadcasting. We'll see you guys on January 3rd for 2015. It's going to be a great year for Hearthstone. From Frodan, Zumo, and the rest of the production crew here at ESL America, have a good night and have a happy holiday.